taking its time on everything. We're rushing about, getting stressed out. That's just, getting on with it. It's not rushing. It eats healthy, doesn't it? It eats lettuce and stuff. So that's probably doing it right. But to be honest, it's too much. I wouldn't want to live 250 years.
Just eating lettuce. Let's not forget that all the tortoise does is eat lettuce. It's not like it's jet skiing weekends and then getting its lettuce on a Monday. That's all it does is eat lettuce.
Yeah.
And that appeals to you, does it?
No, I'm just saying that it must be doing something right, though.
Of course it's doing something right.
Because it's living 250 years.
But all animals do something right, however long they live. Mayflies live a day, but they're doing something right.
Well, they're not, are they? They haven't got a chance to learn how to do it right. And then they're dead. It's, that's from one extreme to another, isn't it? That just seems a bit mental to me, that, living a day. I wouldn't bother, so forget it. Could you be bothered? Just as you get to know someone.
Another mayfly.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if we had that, if that's how we lived our lives, you wouldn't have a chance to make a mark or anything, would you? It's just...
Would you try and pack a lot in that day? Disneyland, whatever?
No, I prefer to make it miserable so I don't miss it, if you know what I mean. But I was thinking the other day about, your body and everything, because it is amazing, isn't it? How it works.
Oh, yeah.
Does the brain control you, or are you controlling the brain? I don't know if I'm in charge of mine.
Nor do I.
There's a surprise.
Nor do I.
No, do you know what I mean, though, by that?
Does the brain control you, or do you control the brain?
Don't you ever sort of think sometimes? Say if you're making...
But you are the brain.
No, but I was making a shopping list, right? Going, right, I need some rice, kidney beans, and I thought I had everything, and I sort of was rolling up the paper, and then something went, oh, an onion.
Your brain did
something
that.
went an onion, was it Suzanne?
No, well, my brain sort of went, you forgot something.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd forgot.
No, you are your brain.
No, but don't you understand? My brain was I was in control of my brain when I was writing down rice and kidney beans.
But you're not in charge of the onion. That's another part of the brain that's in charge of the onion.
The onion sector.
Yeah.
No, but I put the paper away, putting my coat on, ready to go and get the rice.
Yes, but your onion lobe kicked in.
What, so you put the paper in your pocket, you got the coat on, then you just suddenly hear...
Then it was just like... It was
onion.
Like, yeah, I'm not even thinking about that shopping list. It's in my pocket, I'm thinking, do I need my gloves, it's cold out.
Yeah.
Suddenly, onion. And it was like, oh yeah, onion, yeah, I had to get the paper out. So what I'm saying is, who's in charge?
The brain, the mind, the brain is the... What are you doing? Who's in charge?
That's just, you forgot the onion and then you remembered the onion. You must have forgotten things in the past.
No, but not like that. Not where... Like, it just made me think, that was weird. Who reminded me of that?
You did.
Yeah, but I'm not...
No, you are your brain. It's not like there's you, then there's a brain, then there's an extra one looking down at it. Oh, the meta brain, the thing above it.
No, but your brain... How does your brain work? You give it information, don't you?
Well, it takes...
Do you mean you give it information?
Well, if I sat in a room with nothing, not feeding it anything, you wouldn't know anything.
No, but there's this thing that there's two yous. It's this thing that there's
Carl and Carl's brain.
Yeah, there's not a duality in this. If you go, come on, now think. That's the brain saying that to itself. It's not. There's not two people in there having an argument. Come on, brain. And the brain's going, oh, don't you start, I was thinking then. And the other thing's going, brain, onion. And the brain goes, Carl, onion. You are your brain. If you are anything, you are your mind, your brain, your collection of memories, your personality. You're not what you look like. Does that answer your question, Carl? What do you think? Oh, then you were thinking of a tortoise on a skateboard then when I did that last sentence, weren't you?
I, like you, Rick, I'm always annoyed and embarrassed when we have to concede something to Carl. And it seems now each week I look on the emails that we've got, and once again someone has found some evidence to support some of the nonsense that Carl has come out with. Now, you remember we were talking about his concept of putting a giant mirror on the moon, because why should we have to go into space? Then we could just look up at the moon and we'd see the Earth reflected back at us, and we'd think, oh, that's the Earth.
I can't see myself backing down on how ludicrous this is.
No, indeed. Although someone, I think they're really being very picky. They were picking you up on a technical point, because I think think one of your criticisms was the idea that the moon is moving and thus the mirror would, be absent from view for some time. Although people have been claiming that the moon, there's always the same face of the moon that's shown to us. There's always the same side of the moon is always visible to Earth. That's when they talk about the dark side of the moon. It's not just light. It's the fact that we can't see. It's the other side of the moon.
But we move, so it's not always present.
Well, no, but it would always be present to someone on Earth.
Yes, I know. Wait, this is the thing. These people don't know what I know. I know that Karl is thinking of looking up there and seeing himself looking back. That's what he's hoping. Like when you going along in a car and you see a shiny building, you go, oh, that's my car. And you wait. That's what he's hoping to see. He's not doing it to gauge the speed of light and think and change like that. He's not doing that. He wants to look up through a telescope and wave.
Yeah.
That's what they don't realise. I know what he's thinking.
Do you want to respond, Carl?
He's got... the problem with the moon is...
Here's a statement. The problem with the moon is... ...
Yeah. The problem with the Earth is there's too much water.
Yeah.
No, the moon... It's been around ages, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's got no history. It's got nothing to show for it. Just a load of old rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, history is created by stuff happening on it. So really, the moon, even though it's old, in a way it's new. Because it's untouched and that.
But we don't go to the moon to visit museums or arcades.
No, but say like Henry VIII, right? You watch Antiques Roadshow, whatever, and some woman goes, oh, this plate you've got, this was Henry VIII's. And as you can see the knife marks on it. Oh, look, there's some chicken on it, right? And you go, oh, God, yeah, that's amazing. Then someone goes in and goes, here's a plate of Henry VIII's, but it hasn't been used, it's still in the box. You'd go, well, it's not as good, that. It's got no history.
No, because very often on the Antiques Roadshow, they have Henry VIII's plate with a bit of chicken on it. They kept that. Don't throw that away. Why? Arthur Negus are like that in a few hundred years' time.
No, but do you understand what I'm saying? Things are only good if stuff's happened on it. The moon, you're up there, you're having a look, you're going, no one else has even been here.
But you go to the moon for research purposes, for scientific research.
What
do you mean there's nothing there? They're examining the soil and the environment and the air.
It's just a lot.
What they're not doing now, are they? They're just not doing that.
Well, they're not, are they? Because last time they went up, they were playing golf or something. There's golf balls up there that they've been whacking about. What sort of research is that? That's what I'm saying. There's nothing up there, so why else would you go all that way and go, oh, nothing there. Fancy a knockabout? Why are they knocking golf balls about if there's really important stuff to look at? You don't see people in museums going, fancy having a knock some golf balls about? No, I'm looking at this vase. Oh, right, that's interesting. But on the moon, nothing. Nothing to look at. What other games have you brought? That's what I mean.
Carl, have you ever seen the programme Inside the Actors Studio?
No.
James Lipton interviews famous actors and gets words of advice about, how they work and how they act. But at the end, he always asks a series of questions, which is based on a French series of questions that a guy called Bernard Pivot used to give people when he interviewed them. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions. Many people will be familiar with them. Just interesting to see what your response is. And, answer them quickly. You don't have to think about them too much. What is your favourite word?
Don't think I've got a favourite, because you only use them when you need to, don't you? I don't just go about saying the same word. So,
well, all right.
Yeah, it's not my favourite, it's just that it does the job. It does the necessary job for that time, doesn't it? It's like, how are you? I'm all right. It's a greeting.
What about, I think serendipity was voted England's favourite word.
Never used it.
No, stupid word.
Who decided that?
Don't know, it was a poll, but I will suggest things. I can't believe people coming up going, favourite word? Serendipity.
Thanks for asking.
So, but the thing is, say if it meant, oh, I'm fed up, would it still be the best word? Is it based on how it sounds and how it's put together, or what it means?
I think everything.
But then loads of words are being left out on, which are probably brilliant words, and they're not getting a look in.
Such as?
Well, like that one, fed up. I'm fed up. It sums it up, doesn't it? Well, two, it just sums it up. When someone goes, how are you? You go, I'm fed up, mate. Sick of it. It's another good one.
Oh, we get to it. Come on, to your other favourites, right?
I've had enough. It's just all stuff
These
like...
aren't words, they're phrases.
They're all negative, they're all whinging.
These aren't words. What's your favourite thing? My favourite thing to do is moan.
Yeah.
That would be it's not one word, it's loads of words. Fed up, sick of it. Oh, enough. Oh, jeez.
Whinge should be your favourite word.
Yeah. Whinge is a good word. I like NGEs. Lozenge, whinge, flange.
Yeah. What is your least favourite word?
It might be serendipity. That would be up there for me. I tell you what, that would be up there for me.
Probably like French words that have made it into the English thing.
Blancmange.
Just
There's an unge there. So, you know.
How would you dislike it?
How would you dislike blancmange?
But just you know, as if we haven't got enough words in our books.
Go on.
Because I was thinking about
Go on.
alphabet, right? Why have we got that many? When other countries get by without that many letters in it.
We got more words than any other language as well.
But that's because we've got more letters.
Well, I don't know.
So we've created a headache. I reckon you could at least half it.
Well, you probably could half it.
Well, you only use about half a dozen of them.
No, but stuff like an X, you look at words that have got X in, and they're always words that you go, what does that mean? How's someone come up with that? That's how it comes across to me, and there's loads of big words. It's like dinosaur names. It's like, well, look, nobody was about when they were knocking about, so let's make up some names for them using the letters that hardly get used. They've all got Y's and X's in them.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, let's use it for that.
Yeah. So you just, it's not so much what is your least favourite word, you just don't really like most of the words.
Just cut down the words. Stop adding new words. I get by, I don't know how many words there are in the world, but I reckon I hardly use any of them.
Well, I'll tell you what, this year's word must be podcast.
Yeah, but
That'll be in the dictionary, and
but it's made up, innit? It wasn't here before, it's just another one. This is what I'm saying about...
But what else would you call this? You know, there is a new
broadcast.
concept called podcasting. That it's a podcast.
But it's also a broadcast. We had a word for it. It's still a broadcast.
Yeah, but they go, oh, you're a broadcaster. Oh, what radio station? No, I don't work on a radio station. I do a radio show. I don't understand. Well, I do a radio show and I upload on. I don't understand. It's called a podcast. Done.
Here's another idea.
Go
Add
on.
a new one. Get rid of an old one. Last one in, first one out, or whatever. Do it that way. That's a good way.
What would you get rid of then? So we brought in podcast this year, but what word would you lose?
Well, what's the name? Those birds that died out.
Dodos.
Get rid of it. If the bird's gone, the word can, surely.
It's almost profound.
It's amazing. It's great.
Oh, God. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Learning.
That's a nice answer.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Learning.
Will you say that?
Yeah, but everything you teach me, I take it in. It's just that sometimes I go, I don't get it, but that still counts as far as I'm concerned.
Well, no, it doesn't. Learning is knowledge is. There must be some sort of retention. You can't say I've got a great memory for a second. You can't say that. It has to stay there, and then knowledge has to be, applied. You can't just have all this knowledge that isn't applicable because it's useless. I mean, trivia is useless to a large extent. It's not real knowledge because it doesn't really help you practically.
No, but there's a lot of that going on. You're always reading stuff that you go, I've just read that. It's got me thinking for a minute. It's not going to help me in any way, but it gets a reaction, doesn't it?
Well, that's good, yeah. That's what art does, and yeah, sometimes education's good for its sake if it really does inflame. But
then sometimes, like I've said before, you can know too much where it gets you down.
Go on.
I just was reading something about an octopus. That's like a killer octopus, and it annoyed me that this was knocking about now because I didn't know. I thought they were quite friendly. Whenever you see them in cartoons and that, they're always happy, aren't they? And then suddenly, like, they sort of brought the whole sort of creature down. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Well, just you know, when you see them in films, they're running about and that, and everybody likes an octopus. But this one that's on it was your fault really, because you told me about that frog that's going about killing people.
No, I didn't say that.
So I looked it up on the internet at like other creatures and stuff, and there's some octopus that's in the sea, and what it does, you don't even have to like threaten it. It just spits in the water, and if that stuff gets on you, does you in.
Again,
So in a way it's good knowledge, because I mean I don't go in the sea anyway because it's full of stuff like that, but that's just reassured me that I'm doing the right thing. If they're knocking about just gozzing everywhere, you don't even have to be near one, you don't even know if it's been spitting and stuff. It can kill you. It just seems unfair. I haven't harmed it, I haven't gone near it, why is it getting annoyed with me? Doesn't seem right. So that's where our knowledge has not helped that octopus out. Because now, when you eat them, I just think, yeah, have another one. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of them.
another conversation with himself. Another conversation with himself.
What is your favourite curse word?
I don't think I do anything like that. I think people can tell by my face when I'm like fed up.
Well, they know you're fed up because you're always whinging.
I don't think I've got one. Knobhead. That sums everything up, and I think it's...
But you wouldn't call your nan a knobhead, what would you call a nan?
But she doesn't do anything to annoy me that much.
But if she did, what would you say? If she really annoyed
Well,
you?
knobhead's alright, isn't it? Because she sort of gets it. It's one of them things that everybody understands, but it's not too offensive.
Right.
What a knobhead.
Alright, you're getting into this, aren't you?
So that sums it up, but I don't really... Do you need one of them? What's that doing for you? It's better to think, innit? Like, okay, I've just slagged off that octopus, but at no point was a effing and jeffing about it. You know how annoyed I am with it. I don't have to start swearing about it, and that's...
What would you do, though, if you were swimming, right? It was a nice little thing, you're on holiday, right? And there's this octopus there, and you're going around, right? And you just see it start spitting at you, poison. What would you say?
Well, it's too late then, isn't it? And I'd kick it. And I'd say, knobhead. I would... but what's the point? What's the point in getting annoyed now? Because it's done its stuff, hasn't it?
What is this octopus thinking? Oh, God! Oh, okay, you fucking eight-legged shit.
I'm not bothered. I don't know what you're saying.
Fucking cunt of a mollusk.
I'll just spit at you again. It's not bothered.
You slimy little fucking boneless wanker.
This is why the face...
Are you still talking to the octopus? That's downloadable as a ringtone, and it's also the jingle for Karl's diary, just reading excerpts of Karl's diary. Went home and looked up Freud on the internet, didn't find him that interesting, so looked at some other philosophers instead. Socrates, Aristotle. Why have you just listed some philosophers?
Just to show that I'm learning.
Well, that's not learning.
That's just learning their names.
That's a list. You might as well write 1 to 100.
Yeah, but if someone says, oh, what's your favourite philosopher? I'll go, hang on a minute, and I've got them written down.
But why are we
Wait a minute, I'll go and get my enormous diary out.
Yeah. Get a wheelbarrow, bring in my workings, and say one of the names I've written down.
And when they say, well, why do you like him?
Yeah, why do you
just run away.
I noticed you put Socrates first. Why is he your favourite philosopher?
You throw the diary at them and leg it. Oh, and then you go on to say, it's weird how names have changed, but then there's no other point there.
It just is, isn't it? When you think about, like, Socrates, I've never heard that on anyone who I know, is what I mean. It's just, in a way...
But you're not Greek, are you?
But how did that go about back then? I mean, say if you were phoning someone up and they said, I'm booking a table for 2, they go, name? Socrates. Did he ever go, cheers, without going, can you spell that for me?
But I don't know what point you're making.
I'm just saying it's a name that's awkward. You're always going to have to go, can you spell that for me? You go, and it's not just him. Look at all the other names that are on that list.
But they're from a different country.
And a different era.
Yeah, I know, but the names, I've been to Rome and stuff, and you sort of go...
What, ancient Rome?
Just Rome. It hasn't changed, has it? Rome, so it can be ancient Rome or Rome in 2006. It's the same buildings.
I used to love Nero going around in his Fiat Punto.
Lao Tzu from years ago came up with some good stuff. One, he who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. Not entirely true. To lead people, walk behind them.
Yeah.
And of course, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step.
Yeah.
Did that.
Just favourites.
Maybe this is why people are at the start line spectating at the Commonwealth Games.
Well, no, it's just that I've never understood why in Olympics and stuff like that, if you're going to watch, don't stand around the start line. Go to the end, where you see the winner. But because of that saying, it actually makes sense, doesn't it? It's like, well, every step starts with a step, or whatever.
Say it again?
Every race, you've got to start with a step.
Yeah.
So,
which is, who am I talking to now, you or your brain?
Well, I was thinking about it a bit, so I think I was in control of it a bit more.
So, and what have you come up with?
Just if you want to stay at the start line, do.
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, if you're into... I wouldn't watch a race, right?
Okay,
But
is this you or your brain I'm talking to now?
this is me.
Okay.
I wouldn't watch...
Are you going to bring the brain into it, or is it, there's no...
I don't know, let's just see what happens.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is,
Right.
if I was to watch a race,
Yeah.
I wouldn't hang about the start line, because...
Well, you just said you would.
What, did I?
Yeah, you said that's the place to start, because every race starts with a step.
No, but I wouldn't normally.
Right,
I wouldn't watch any
The
race.
brain definitely hasn't been used
No,
yet.
is this you or your brain you're talking about now?
I'm just saying about me, if I was on holiday,
Yeah.
and Suzanne said there's a race going on down the road,
Yeah.
I'd go, well, let's go, keep going down the road and stand at the finish line.
Okay, but now what have you
according to
thought?
Wazoo,
Yeah.
I'd say, well, hang on a minute, every race starts with a single step.
Yeah.
How many people around the start line? Is there more room there? And she goes, yeah. I go, let's go there then, it's less busy.
Right, and what would you see there then?
I'd see people starting the race, but I wouldn't be that impressed with them because I'd go, well, I don't know if any of these are any good.
So would you start at the start or the end then?
If it was down to me, I'd just probably stay at the finish line.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to see the first step then? So what do you think of Lazoo now then?
It's not what, but I wrote down 3 of his. That one isn't my favourite. That was the 3rd. I preferred the leading people from behind.
Okay, and what would you do to lead someone now then?
Well, if you're behind, you don't have to take responsibility, do you? You can go, well, I didn't send you anywhere. You went there.
That's not really leading them, is it?
Yeah, because I've made them think. I've gone. They go, oh, I've just walked into a big hole. I'd go, oh, should have been looking where you're going. I haven't led them in that hole, but they've learnt a lesson. They won't go in a hole again.
That was one of the greatest conversations I've ever been part of. I mean, that was incredible. Never mind Aristotle and Socrates. That was incredible, that. If someone's out there, could they make a transcript of that? Because I think that, in 1,000 years' time, that'd be amazing. That was incredible, Karl.
And not once was the brain used. That's a jingle there for Rockbusters, one of the most hated quizzes in the history of mankind.
Joking, aren't you?
The people loathe it.
Love it.
It's the last one anyway, so just get over it, just do the answers. Oh, well, we can't do another one though, because we can't give the answers out, so this is just...
Yeah, this is the last one. It's just the answers for last week for people who are doing it.
Okay, well, small mercies.
The first one that I gave you last week was, the initials were CK, right?
Yeah.
The clue was, do you know the songs that you sing at Christmas?
Yeah.
That bloke over there is the best at singing them. So what are the songs you do?
Carol King.
Carol King,
Right.
that works.
Yeah.
That works. Very
Right.
well done.
The second one, MG. I told the homosexual man that the grape tree was mine. Right? MG.
Gay.
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye, obviously.
Marvin,
But how do you get to Marvin?
What's it?
That's my vine, isn't it? That I told you.
My Vine Gay?
Yeah.
My Vine.
Yeah. And the last one,
My Vine Gay.
That's shocking.
It's
and the last one, it was...
shit.
The last one, the initial was S. I said, I asked you if you believe in Father Christmas, what would you say? What's the name for Father Christmas?
Santa Claus.
Right, so if I said to you, do you believe in...
Casper!
Aye.
Alright?
Right.
You haven't been listening to a word I've said, have you?
Yeah, I heard some of it, yeah.
Some of it?
Just...
Stand up. Always somebody, isn't there? Right, now you're going to tell us a story about yourself.
What sort of story?
I want you to think of an incident that happened to you sometime in the past that is true and that you think will interest the rest of the class. All right?
Right. What about I work on a radio show at the weekend.
Well, are you going to tell us about it?
I'll just do. It's 2 hours, and it's with Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, and just sort of play music and tell stories and stuff.
What kind of stories?
Well, whatever. Like last week it was science. We were talking about this lad who was growing a knob on his arm. So it's weird. It's tricky, sir, because like with Ricky, he gets bored quick and he won't listen to the stories, and he'll start squeezing my head.
All right. I'm not interested in what he does.
That isn't normal, is it, sir? That, I mean, it sure is a bit gay.
Is he?
Just messes about, though. Do you know what I mean? I try and like come up with good stuff, like monkey news and like quizzes and stuff. But then he'll just, Ricky will just mess about. I mean, on Saturday he did it again. He squoze me head.
How do you spell that?
Squoze. S-Q...
Well, you're going to show it on the floor. This is a new word to me.
Squoze is S-Q-U-O-Z-E.
Right, now tell us what it is.
It's when he gets me head and he puts one hand on the back of it, right? And he puts the other hand on the front of it and he just sort of swivels it.
Swivel, right down.
Swivel's not, it's spelled S-W-I-V-R.
How many times a day?
How many times a day does he swells it? It depends what time he gets in. If he gets in about 12:30, he could get a good 3 in. But I think, I don't really want to talk about.
Well enough, don't you? Well done, Billy. Big hand of applause.
That is the effort.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the best thing you've ever done, Carl.
50 Cent in Da Club on XFM 104.9.
We're playing our favourite singles of the year,
Yep.
and we're looking back over some of our favourite clips of the year. I'm looking to Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Not done a lot. Maybe you should earn your money as you get to Mondays off for this 2 hours of nonsense.
What are you on about? Done loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, same old.
Yeah.
Let's have something new, something fresh.
Well, I've been looking around, right, on the internet for stuff.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Yeah.
Your Bible, where you get all your information about the world and the universe and morality from.
And like how I always say to you, I don't really read that much of it. I just read the headline.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Anna Nova has sort of nicked that idea to grab you.
Nicked what idea?
Well, to sort of get to the meat straight away at the top. Do you know what I mean? The headline to the story and everything.
What?
Right, these are
But
stories.
the headlines already existed. That was why you thought that was
Not
going
like this though.
All right.
Headline. Oh, these are all headlines, right? Vibrating shoes could stop elderly falling. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Vibrating shoes could stop elderly falling.
Yeah, that's the story. You don't need to read on. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Right?
could you read that anyway?
Can't be bothered.
Read on anyway.
Well,
Read-
you have a look at that in a bit, right?
Oh,
it's
so
interesting.
this is frustrating radio if you're sitting at home.
No.
Well, it's not on. They've turned it off.
If you want to know more, you know where to go. That's what I'm saying. That's what they should do in the news. Get the news done in a
Bong.
minute.
There's a good story about Iraq.
Right.
Bong.
Right,
Look it up. Look it up on the internet. Anna Nova.
Give us another bong.
Bong.
Family sick of living on Butthole Road.
Oh, brilliant. Bong.
Man wears same shoes for 60 years.
Oh, bong.
This isn't that good. Some fella pulls a train with his teeth.
And enlighten news.
I remember that. Jungle Donald. This one is very good.
And last one, man fails to break clothes pegs on face record. She's always good. Well, that's the one I did read on about.
I love that, all those. That's the one he went on about. Go on then.
Just
Why is that news? He fails to make a record. So did I today. I failed the long jump record today.
Yeah.
Didn't even take part.
No, I was rubbish.
But what are the rules on world records and that?
I don't know if there are rules. There are certain things you can't. I mean, it's the Guinness Book of Records, isn't it, really, that's the arbiter, isn't it?
Yeah, but is there anything, if you said you wanted to do it, would they say, well, you can't do that?
Yeah, they've stopped some gluttony records, obviously things that are in danger, and so anything that's illegal, yeah, anything that's immoral.
Yeah, like that American serial killer that just got discovered.
Yeah.
He killed 47 women. I don't think he can make that into the Guinness Book of Records.
No, I don't know, because people would be trying to beat it, won't they?
But there was some other story about a fella eating watches and that can't be good for you. So why don't they say, look, don't do that, do something else?
He wanted to stay regular.
Do you know what I mean? I just wondered.
What do you mean he was eating watches?
He just said he was eating watches. He ate about 3 in about a minute.
How did he time it?
Do you know what I mean, though? And then the other thing is, the one that I was reading, the world record with the fellow who's pulling a train with his teeth. Does that make any difference that he's done it with his teeth?
What do you mean?
Well, what difference does it make?
Well, isn't it? It's quite hard to pull a train with your teeth, I imagine.
Well, it's pretty hard to pull a train. All I'm saying is it because he couldn't beat the fella who's pulling it with his hands?
Well,
this
is my point. I think there was one bloke with a record for the running backwards 100 metres was sort of like 11 and a half seconds. And I was thinking, turn around, you'd probably have a really good go at that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sort of like doing a marathon with a milk bottle on your head. Take the milk bottle off and see how fast you can go, you twat.
But you can just tweak it, like the fella who has done the pegs on the face, right?
Yeah.
His name's Gary Stretch Turner, right?
Right.
So he's sort of cheating already if he's got a stretchy head, right? but
You are, right, you are one of the most stupid humans I've ever met.
Well, get me in the book. Yeah. Right? But listen. So Gary Stretch Turner, right? His record is 153 pegs.
Yeah.
He did it again, and he only got 150 on. So he hasn't broke his own record.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, if he tweaked it a bit more, would that make a new record?
What?
Well, if he said, I've got 150 pegs on, but at the same time as eating a burger.
I see what you mean, yeah. He'd be the world record breaker for pegs and eating burgers at the same time.
Yeah, just change it a bit. If you know that you're not going to make it, just do something else.
I'm assuming the rules are set at the beginning, Carl. That's it. That's where they say, right, you're just going to do the pegs thing. You're not going to introduce burgers halfway through, are you? Definitely not. And then they have a go.
I was on one leg, not interested. How many pegs? 150.
Can I just ask very briefly, I was quite interested by the family had to move because they lived on Butthole Road.
Yeah, I quite like that
Now, I don't know if I've told you before, Rick, where I used to live. I'm not going to tell you the name of the street that I used to live on, not on air, because my parents still live there and I don't want to, But I'm going to write it for you now. This is the genuine name of the street I used to live on. Now, just imagine when you're at school.
Yeah.
And like in class, for instance, in French, you've got to say you've got to answer where you live.
Yeah.
J'habite, wherever.
Yeah.
That's the name. This is actually the name of the street we lived on.
No, it's
I
not.
swear to God.
That is...
I absolutely right. I could phone my father now and he could confirm that for you. I swear
because he doesn't want
to God. And I tell you that.
But listen, do you know what worries me? It's the apostrophe S.
I know.
Because that's blatant.
Yes. Amazing, isn't it?
That is incredible.
Imagine how embarrassing
So if I look that up in the Bristol...
You will find that in the Bristol A to Z. I swear to God.
That is really... Why have you never told me that before?
I can't believe I haven't.
That's
I'm still embarrassed now. Do you know, whenever I have to phone up, if I have to give that address, I always spell it instantly.
Really?
Like somehow that will hide it, that will disguise the name.
But I can't get over that.
Anyway, if you perhaps live in Tits Avenue,
Yeah.
you know, or
Wanklin Drive.
Wanklin Drive, just get in touch. Let us know. We're not really interested.
This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of. I know what you're thinking. If this is the best, my Christ, what was the rest like? Well, we'll be back in a week's time, so you can judge it for yourself live. But anyway, in the meantime, this is one of the best clips I've ever heard.
I'm laughing just thinking about what it might be.
He said this, you know, oh God, it's like a child or a cat when it's confused. He went, Steve reckons, in ancient Greece, right, it was better to shag a bloke than a woman. And I went, well, yeah. I mean, that's about the male being sort of a first-class citizen, much better, wasn't it? An aspiration
the
to
point
sleep with a
was, Carl,
beautiful man than a beautiful woman.
Women were lower-class citizens,
Yeah.
so therefore men were seen as higher class. So to have sexual relations with a man, there was no shame in that.
No.
In fact, it was looked upon.
And I said, well, you know, ancient Rome. I said, you know, Nero, he sit in his big jacuzzi and he used to get, you know, pretty boy men to go into the water and just nibble at his testicles while he was having a wash. He did.
No.
Yeah.
And he's not a gay fella.
No, well, no. I mean, you know, I don't know about Nero, but I mean, it wasn't a case of a big delineation between what was heterosexual and what was gay. It was just, you know, whatever you...
So what did this fella do then? This one who's having his...
Well, he was pretty much top boy, Nero, for a while.
He was in charge.
And, you know, and you did what you're told. If Caesar or...
But why were people going round there? Why didn't they go, oh...
No, they weren't dropping in. It wasn't like the doors opening. I was going to see what Nero's doing. You'd have probably been like a delivery boy or a stable boy or something, you know, and you'd have popped round there and you'd have gone, there, right, Nero, as the tablets of stone you wanted. And they go, Pilkington, why you are here? Pop on, I don't know why he's French.
What is that?
I don't know why he's French. Just pop under the water and nibble at my testicles and you'd have done it.
Because he was Nero.
I wouldn't.
You would have.
Well, there's no way I would have done.
Well, you would
What
have.
have I done? I've dropped a pizza off.
Yeah, you've
why
gone
am I
round to
there?
Nero's place and pizza.
Right, I'd say I've done my job. Right?
Yeah.
That's not the sort of tip I wanted.
No, he just said, get the little baldy chap to nibble at my testicles, and you'd run the water.
I wouldn't have done it.
No,
Well,
you
you
can't.
might have done it.
You know,
I
right.
wouldn't have done it.
Can I just say this, Steve? Not only would you be nibbling at his testicles, you'd have been going mad. You'd have been noshing him just for extra. You'd have been doing everything he wanted. You'd have been going. He'd have gone, I didn't ask you to do that. You'd have been going mental. You'd have been chewing, slurping, smacking, poking. You'd have gnawed his packet off. You think you're eating Walker's crisps? There'd be bubbles. There'd be blood. Oh, it'd be horrible.
That was Bowie and Waterloo Sunset. Love that. Love the original. Love Bowie. Bowie was my gig of the year. These are my singles of the year. These are our clips of the year. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. We're just picking some lovely little bits and pieces.
Do you remember when we talked about this?
So that's the sort of thing I think we need now, right? We've covered a lot of stuff.
What, education?
Teaching, yeah.
Well, okay, what do you want to know?
Don't know.
Have you got some? Can you educate us on anything?
I've been reading bits
So could we
and
bring
bobs.
back just for one night only, educating Ricky?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah? Do you think it warrants them?
I don't know enough about it. You know what I mean?
About what?
It sounds perfect. Play the jingle.
Oh, educated Ricky.
He's getting smarter.
A couple of things happened in the week that I read about.
Okay.
Keeping up on what's going on in that.
Sure.
Yeah.
One was about that Galileo fella.
Okay.
Was it about 1636? Was it?
I think it might have been earlier. Go on.
Did some stuff with light and that?
Yeah, he did lots of physical experiments, yeah.
Is that it then, Carl, is it? He
That's
did
sort
some
of
stuff with light and that.
What did he do with light? What was that?
Well, I think he invented the first...
Telescope.
Telescope. So I think it's a particular lens and he did experiments where he dropped famously two different weighted balls from Pisa, and they hit the ground at the same time, showing that it doesn't matter, the weight doesn't matter, but air resistance does and stuff like that.
I think he probably explained it a bit better than that.
Yeah, but I'm talking to Karl.
Sure. Did they need to know
He's
stuff?
just thinking about pizza.
Yeah.
Did they need to know stuff like that back then?
What do you mean, did they need to know stuff like that? It's just...
There weren't people going around going, I've got to drop these 2 things off the Leaning Tower of Pizza. I just don't know which one's going to land first.
Yeah, I need to know. What do you need to know
Bring me
about?
Galileo.
Yeah.
It's for a bet.
Yeah.
No, but if I was knocking about then, I'd be like, stop messing with that. We need a telly. Or, you know what
I bet he thinks the Flintstones is real.
I know.
That'd be brilliant. That's what I'd do if I was a caveman. I'd make a telly out of rock.
Yeah.
And a pelican and a cement mixer.
Along the road.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need a car.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't really got the internal combustion engine. Can you stick your feet through the bottom? Yeah, just get me a car, for Christ's sake.
Anyway, so I learnt that. And then,
What?
He learned his name.
Yeah.
Other people like learned the name of this week.
Oh, if a chimp could watch telly. Go on, Karl, go on.
and there was also a fella in the week who said that women shouldn't be wearing trousers
Why?
because they don't look good in them. What do you think? What do you think about that?
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
These are the only things that have caught your eye over the last couple of weeks. This is the entire news.
Galileo did something with light. A French fella said women shouldn't wear trousers. See, that to me wouldn't pass as education.
It's not education.
I don't know where you could ever use that. I don't know where that would ever be applicable to life.
I just like reading stuff that sort of reminds me of... Do you know what I mean? If I read it and it gets me thinking, I think that's a good little piece.
But I mean, but surely can't you just sort of like sit near something that vibrates to keep your brain going, or shake your head every now and again? I mean, what does this do? You mean it makes you start using your brain?
But what aspect of a Frenchman said women shouldn't wear trousers got your mind working? What questions were you
Because I
asking?
thought that's a bit daft, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, it ends there with me. There's nowhere else for me to go on that. Your mind's still worrying.
Yeah, go on. What do you think? Let's go through this. Oh, I wish we could download his thoughts.
I know.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
It would be great, like a DVD.
cartoon.
Imagine that extra footage on the Office DVD.
Yeah, Karl's brain.
That would be
With a commentary.
amazing. Oh, with a commentary. Go on.
Women wearing trousers and that, right? On the estate that I grew up in, right? There was a woman about 4 houses down, right? Rough. Now, she used to wear leggings.
Yeah.
Now, they're a bad idea.
They are a terrible idea. I agree with you there, Karl. If you're a lady of
What
the
colour?
normal
Were
persuasion...
they pink?
No, they were sort of black, but with all bits on them.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean?
What,
Yeah.
toast and just horse
bits.
droppings? Yeah, go on, yeah.
And she used to... she's quite a big woman.
Sure.
Pauline Quirk, I think
Yeah,
you described her as.
Look like a light bulb. when
It
she
is
bends
those kind of
over in
women that are
leggings.
attracted to leggings.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
They are drawn to them like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
She used to wear them, and that's what I remember when I read this piece. And she used to work on one of those sex line things.
Right.
Right, she used to do that. But
What, was she an engineer?
the weird thing with her was she had big eyelids
Right.
Go on.
that were too big, and this is what I was thinking.
What
right?
do you mean she had big eyelids? How big do eyelids have to be for you to go, they're big eyelids? What was she shoplifting with them? Would she come out of Dixon's with, like, radio stored in them? What do you mean she had
It
big
was
eyelids?
another one of them popular things around our way. Do you know?
What do you mean popular things? They didn't go, they go, oh, I'll tell you what, they're all right. Can I get some big eyelids, please?
No. It was just like one of them things that people suffered with. Just big eyelids. They could hardly open their eyes.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's one of them popular things round where I grew up. People had big eyelids. They could hardly open their eyes. What does that mean? What sort of freak town were you born in? You had webbed feet people with big heads. You got women with big eyelids. What does big eyelids mean?
Are you confusing her with the horse?
yeah. Did she have hooves? Look, what?
Anyway, so there's this big eyelided woman with the leggings.
And that's what I'm saying to you, though. That's when I read that story with people with trousers.
Yeah.
I went from that.
Yeah.
To a woman who used to have big eyelids. I still on the point.
But then, and also the other bloke who had the eyelid problem was a mate of mine.
Yeah.
His dad had it, and same problem, massive eyelids.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I used to say to him, "Oh, I'm going round to Dave's house." and
or
to say,
Pete, as you call him.
that's all right, but make sure his dad doesn't take you out in the car, because he could hardly see. He had to have
He gets to tilt his head back to keep his
Make sure! Did he have a couple of matches with him at all times?
What a load of gobbledygook. This began as educating Ricky.
I know,
So
it's
what,
like
he was
people
thinking...
with eyelids.
But it's like you're supposed to make that leap as well.
Yeah.
If I mentioned the trousers, Ricky will probably be thinking about people with big eyelids and women wearing leggings.
Play a record, Carl.
This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying the Best Of.
Like I said to you though, the reason I did this was to get that kitchen, right? Now,
Brilliant.
as we speak now, right? Builder's in the flat. He's been annoying me.
Of course he has. What's he been doing?
When he turned up on Monday, right? Wanders in, and the first thing he says to me is, said, the pub across the road, is it any good? I said, well, it doesn't matter, does it? You're working on the kitchen.
Think of saying that to a builder. Probably making conversation. Probably meant, do they do a toasted sandwich? Because I've got a half-hour lunch break. Not an hour, like Karl Pilkington. So I'll probably go and get a nice, cheese and tomato sandwich.
Is that genuinely what you said to me?
Yeah.
So Suzanne had to go at me saying, why have you said that? He hasn't even started on it yet.
I cannot believe that.
You're unbelievable, Carl. And you say it's us that are rude, crass,
I wasn't being
thoughtless.
rude. I just was letting him know. Do you know what I mean? I know what
He
I'm up
knows
to.
what he was there for. He had it down on his little docket. Do the kitchen this week. He didn't come there and go, what did I come out for? Was it to go to the pub for a week?
Why am I wearing these overalls?
Yeah. Who's the little bald mate twat insulting me? Let me just check. Let me call the head office.
I wasn't having a go though. I mean, they should have finished it yesterday, and they're there now, right, on their own. And what annoyed me is they turned up late today.
Hold on, Carl. I've just realised something. They're probably listening to the radio. This, I assume, tuned to XFM, isn't it, in your kitchen?
Yeah, but they don't know it's me, do they? Do you know what I mean?
No. They'd go, he's got a whiny mate voice as well. So's the bloke who owns this place. And the bloke who owns this place, when I said, what's that pub like across the road, said, well, you won't be bothering that. He's working on this. No, he won't be able to put two and two together, will he? You've suddenly, the penny's dropped, hasn't it? You've suddenly realised. Look at his face. He's suddenly realised they might know it's him.
And they could be listening, and they're going to clean you out, mate.
Oh, if you are the builder working in, where is it? I won't say the address, but it's...
Central London, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
mental. Have whatever you want.
Opposite that pub that you like, that you're...
He'll probably be in there now, so he won't be listening.
Oh, insulting
That's
a
a
British
further
workman.
He should
So
have been
just
in
go
today.
mental.
He should have been at 8 this morning.
Just
which
go
annoyed me anyway.
mental.
Why, I really don't understand why they've got to start so early, right?
Yeah.
But he said he'll be there for 8, turned up at 9:30, right? Wanders in, and what annoys me is he could have left all this downstairs. He had a paper under his arm, one of those crossword books, and a pot noodle. Now, I'm not being funny, but most of them take up quite a bit of time. A crossword book, he's not happy with just the one that's in the paper.
If you're listening, if you are the builder that's listening now, doing Carl's flat, what about pissing in the laundry basket?
That was Jane's Addiction. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
This was a clip show. We recorded this a couple of weeks ago. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. It's not over yet, because tonight at 9:50 is the second part of The Office Christmas specials. It's brilliant. Watch it, and we'll be back next week live. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. Bye.
Have a great new year. Probably you're thinking, Rick, isn't it time that we do our usual roundup of what's been happening in the news?
Yeah,
Which we always do every week.
Yeah.
We always do something, which is, I mean, basically, if you're listening and you're a new listener, say you work at a newspaper, we always try to be informative, just try and put stuff out there that just educates people, informs
What are you
people.
thinking? Well, I said Monkey News is coming up, but what have you got?
No, I was just looking on the net there and just found a couple of quite important news stories probably worth mentioning. Policeman caught photographing. I don't know why it makes me laugh. It's just a phrasing, I suppose. It's a headline. Policeman caught photographing up woman's skirt.
No, he wasn't up there taking a picture of Big Ben. He wasn't going, can I just sit up here? I'm just going to take a picture of that seagull over there.
No.
He was facing the camera up a woman's skirt.
He was indeed.
Right.
A policeman in Japan is facing disciplinary measures after he was caught photographing up a woman's skirt with a hidden camera while on duty. The 42-year-old sergeant, who's not been named, used a digital camera to secretly snap the shots when the woman was reporting a stolen bicycle.
So he was actually
doing his proper job. He'd obviously thought to himself, I'll bring him a digital camera today. On the off chance a beautiful woman comes in to report a crime or robbery, I'll have it ready, I'll have it positioned, in such a way. But this is interesting. This is how he got caught. Okay? The woman became suspicious after she saw a flash go off.
Brilliant.
I mean,
Not so secret at all.
Sorry, did I just see your shoe? Your shoe just seemed